Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to the Facebook Messenger and Chatbot Marketing Virtual Summit. I'm Clayton Wood, one of your hosts. We are excited that you've joined us today. We've got a large audience coming from all over the world, and we've got Mari Smith with us. Mari, how are you?
Awesome. Really happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this for a while.
This is great. So let's give a couple of minutes for everybody to get in the chat and sort of work out their video and their audio and stuff like that. We'd love to find out where everybody's from while we let everybody get in the chat box. Let's see, we've got the UK in the house. I'm in Orange County, not far from you, Mari. Are you in San Diego?
I sure am.
Okay, great. We've got Montreal, Massachusetts, Houston, Asheville, Florida. So a lot of American visitors. Yesterday, we had a pre-event session with people from all over the world, which is great. These sessions are being recorded, and we are ecstatic to talk today about this brand new or relatively new way of interacting with your audience. The opening keynote is going to be from Mari Smith. She, as revered as the queen of Facebook, she's got a book that you may or may not have heard of. She's here to talk about the 7 steps to relationship building and boosting the bottom line with Facebook Messenger bots. Mari, I'll let you do a little bit better job of introducing yourself and say hello to everybody out there. And we're looking forward to hearing what you've got today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Clayton. Greetings, friends. Always a delight and a pleasure to be here with you today on this glorious day. And usually have a bit more sunshine coming in the window there, but it's early yet. So as Clayton mentioned there, I'm often referred to as the queen of Facebook. I'm known as the premier Facebook marketing expert. I've been the leading Facebook marketing expert since 2007, so over 11 years now. And I travel the world and the country, and I speak and train and teach and love leading webinars and especially educating my audience and other audiences at large on the power of Facebook and Instagram and Messenger, the whole family of apps. So I'm also, as Clayton mentioned, this is actually my book here that came out a few years ago now, and I wrote it specifically to be evergreen, the new relationship marketing. And the new part is the fact that we are doing relationship marketing through digital means now, obviously for quite some time now. Let me just straighten my top. So fantastic to see you all here, and I'm going to share my screen in a second. And as Clayton mentioned, you can of course pop questions, and he'll be monitoring those on the Crowdcast. Now, I know I'm simultaneously broadcasting onto my Facebook page, so I'm coming to you from Crowdcast, and I will be circling back to also catch any questions or comments. I see Andrew from Cape Cod there. That's wonderful. Lisa McKenzie in the house from Canada. Kathy, beautiful. Glad to see you all here. So my friends, this is what we'll do without further ado, and I'll share my slides with you, and let's just dive in. Application window, hit share, and voila. Okay, 7 steps to relationship building and boosting the bottom line, as Clayton mentioned, with Facebook Messenger chatbots. So I am really, have really been immersed in the world of relationship marketing for probably about 20 years, actually. It's just one of my favorite topics. And I love being able to teach these conversational methodologies. Here's Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, of course. What he actually said is that messaging is one of the few things that people do more than social networking. OMG, did you know that? And that was at a public Q&A in 2014. So 4 years ago, he said that. And it's never been more true than today, because we're starting to see a real uptick in how the messaging apps are being utilized, and especially by businesses, and especially with this automation element. So why chatbots? And after my session, we've got our wonderful friend, Larry Kim. He's the CEO and co-founder of Mobile Monkey. This summit's brought to you by Mobile Monkey. Why chatbots? Well, this is a wonderful graph here. As Zuckerberg just said in the previous slide, messaging apps have actually surpassed social networks. The big 4 messaging apps are this red line you can see here in about 2014, when he said that, started to surpass. In terms of DAUs, is daily active users. And the big 4 messaging apps are WhatsApp, which is the #1 messaging app in the world. And of course, WhatsApp is owned by Facebook, then Messenger, then WeChat, which is China's WeChat, and then Viber. And the 4 social networks on that black line there are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. However, 1% of businesses have set up a Facebook Messenger chatbot. It is early days. My friends, you are in the right place. I believe we have over 8,000 people registered for this webinar, which is extraordinary. Kudos to everybody who's here and who's been helping to get the word out, because you are all early adopters and you have the option now to really dive in and embrace messenger marketing for your business. This gentleman, Josh Ellman, VP, Vice President, Product at Robinhood and Venture Partner at Greylock, a VC firm, quoted this in the Chatbots magazine. I just love this. It seems pretty obvious now that the first inclination of most people when they want to talk to a friend or a family member is to text them. It's crazy this hasn't come to businesses yet, he says. The first businesses that are able to fully embrace this and be as responsive and communicative as a friend, hello, will be able to drive significant new relationships with their customers and ultimately increase business. This isn't a matter of if, just when. The technology is coming along fast. So I read that whole quote to you, my friends, because absolutely, this is where we're at right now, that you are in the right place to be able to adopt and embrace messenger chatbot marketing, messenger marketing, automated marketing, but it's not fully automated. You've got to have a human touch in there. This is something I'm so passionate about, which is why I really love this aspect of the relationship building part of using bots in your marketing. Okay, so what is conversational? It's often referred to as conversational commerce, is this messenger marketing, but there's another element to it as well. It's also from our friends at the Chatbot magazine. Conversational commerce is an automated technology powered by rules and sometimes artificial intelligence, AI, that enables online shoppers and brands to interact with one another via chat and voice interfaces. So total sidebar here, not part of today's conference, but I don't know if you know, but Facebook is working on an in-home video chat device with facial recognition. Very much similar to Amazon's Echo Show. So it's got a video screen. You can interact and talk and do like almost like Skype, if you will, or right now you can do Messenger, video chats. But there's a commerce element added to it. And, Instagram has a new shopping app coming out, a standalone shopping app. Eventually, Instagram will have a chatbot integration. So this is where all this is going. See what I'm saying? It's early days yet, and you guys are all early adopters. So it's not just the messenger chat, it's the automated chat component. There's also going to be a voice element that's included in conversational commerce. I'm super excited about it. I think it's amazing. Studies are showing that those people that own an Amazon Echo actually spend more on Amazon. The Prime members for sure, but the Echo owners spend even more. So this is good news for commerce. The most popular global mobile messenger apps at July 2018, we mentioned this earlier, WhatsApp's number 1, Facebook Messenger with 1.3 billion. WhatsApp has 1.5 billion. And so just, important to note all that. Top messaging apps. Another great quote, and then we'll move into my 7 steps. This is from Phil Libin. He's the founder of All Turtles and Evernote. Probably heard of Evernote. And another from a wonderful article that Chatbot magazine put out not too long back. I was actually quoted in that, so was Larry. All of the big trends in commerce over the past couple of decades have been in moving to where your customers are. Rather than forcing your customers to come to you, you go to where they are. The next generation of that is conversational commerce. It is inevitable that everyone is going to have to incorporate conversations inside of Messenger and into social media platforms in order to sell things more effectively. I think this is such a profound quote by Phil here. And again, one that we want to really take on board, and that you're in the right place by tuning in here today or catching the replay or wherever we're meeting you here today. Kudos, because this is it, friends. We've got to get into this chatbot component here. There's a big opportunity here for embracing and integrating the chatbot, messenger marketing, the automated component with the high touch. Still, you can have the high touch in there. Open and visibility rates. I know Larry's going to probably touch on this in his upcoming session. But email marketing, everybody here should be doing email marketing. Your open rates are maybe 5 to 10. If you're getting 20% open rate, you have a devoted, loyal list, or it's a smaller list, or people just absolutely love you and love what you send to them. But generally speaking, most mass mailings get a pretty low open rate. The Facebook newsfeed organic reach is way down to 1%, maybe 6%. If you're getting more than 6% organic reach, you are an anomaly, you're an outlier. But you've got the Facebook Messenger broadcast. Look at that. You can get as much as 80%, 70, 80, sometimes even 90% within the first 60 minutes. That's an open rate. That's extraordinary. Wow. So yes, we want to pay attention here. So we're going to get to these 7 steps. First, just going to lay a little bit of groundwork, because you certainly want to have your basic chatbot set up. And I know Larry's got a special offer for you on that, but you're going to set up your basic chatbot. And then I recommend set your main messenger goals. So for example, one of the easiest ways to get set up, and Larry's going to go into this in some of the other sessions on this summit here today, is to answer frequently asked questions. You can start with simple topics like if you have a bricks and mortar store, things that people are always asking, directions, open hours, refund policy, whatever it might be, those can be very easily programmed in to your chatbot. You could be building a highly engaged, loyal tribe. One of my examples coming up is Gary Vaynerchuk. And Gary V is doing some cool things with Messenger and also with text and chatbots. And he's already got an engaged, loyal tribe, but it's a matter of the way in which you communicate with them, right? Now, I want to challenge us all here as marketers, as business owners. Is it about amassing masses, as I say? Because this has been a drum that's been beaten and beaten and beaten for like a decade or more. Is it about, masses of numbers of likes, fans, followers, and just getting kind of drawn into that belief that you have to have the millions? Or what if it's about building your devoted tribe excuse me, of 1,000 true fans? I love this concept. It was invented by or created by Kevin Kelly, and you can just Google it, 1,000 true fans, Kevin Kelly. And the concept is these 1,000 true fans are absolutely devoted. They'll buy whatever you're selling. They're the first ones to sign up. They're your raving fans, your super fans, your top fans, or your evangelists, affiliate partners. They just love you and love to buy from you. So those are who you want to be focusing on, building relationships with, and then increasing sales of products. You can definitely do that, again, if you've got retail, but it could also be a service-based business. So just thinking, what is the purpose of your Messenger chatbot? That's the point of this slide. All right, so step 1. Here we go, friends. Now then, many people ask when we're doing these Facebook Lives and broadcasts, will this be recorded? And this is actually broadcasting on my Facebook page, and we're right here in this wonderful Crowdcast platform. I see all your comments and questions. Wonderful to see you here, and we'll definitely have time for some Q&A after. So great to see that. And we can get to these slides as well. I'm always happy to share my slides. And then actually don't do it right now because I want you to pay attention, but you'll see at the bottom of every slide, I actually have a little call to action, m.me. Everybody who has a Facebook business page, if you can see where my cursor is, bottom right, everybody has an m.me link, and m.me is your messenger link. So whatever your page name is, I'm facebook.com/Mari Smith. So my messenger URL is m.me/Mari Smith, and you can put that messenger URL anywhere. You can put it in your email signatures, you can put it out on Twitter, you can put it on Facebook, wherever you want. And people click on that, automatically opens up in Messenger. And then you can set it up in your chatbot with certain key triggers. I'm going to show you in a little bit later on my slide deck what I'm going to give you when you text me or message me free chapter. You'll see. All right, so step 1 of 7 in this relationship building and boosting the bottom line using Messenger chatbots. Make it clear what your bot does and how to interact with it. I love that. I love when I see that. So for example, you could say this, our bot is powered by humans and by bots, and you can type any question in, or you give them a menu, or it could be specific problems they have that you want to solve. Maybe you're going to give them exclusive special offers. That's always a great use of bots. Access maybe bite-sized educational content. There's a whole area here where you can sign up and request access to what's called subscription messaging. And that's actually non-promotional because Facebook has very tight rules. And I see a lot of people breaking them, which is annoying. Just like contests, right? We had to put our hands on our hips and get a little like, grr. Those people that break the rules, no fair for us people that don't break them. But we can talk about that a little bit. But you'll be able to send out non-promotional, regular, basically is like an opt-in, and people are signing up maybe to get a daily tip or a horoscope or an inspirational quote or the weather or traffic or whatever it might be, daily, weekly, whatever they opt in for. Maybe it's entertaining content, micro content. Be the first to hear breaking industry news, like as I mentioned there, quotes, horoscope, tips, weather. So as an example for my step one, I'm going to show you Tony Robbins bot. Now, in preparation for this presentation here today, I signed up for about 35 bots, and there's some great ones out there and there's some not so great ones. And I already signed up for many bots. Like I've been dabbling with bots for about 2 years now. But I really wanted to dig in a bit deeper and see who's doing what currently, in terms of, shut down my snagit there, in terms of, new, creative, whatever. So Tony Robbins, if you haven't, everybody's heard of Tony Robbins, surely motivational public figure here, 3.6 million. And this is on the screen. This is just a screenshot. So when I click on get started, right, a bot is always going to say get started. You know that a page has a bot when it says get started. And these screenshots are mobile, of course, and they work just the same on desktop. But you hit get started, and what I liked about what Tony does is his, hello, Mari, welcome to the Tony Robbins Messenger experience. By the way, you can integrate and do merge fields, right? Merge fields with the person's name. You can even pull in their email and say, hey, can I email? Is this the best email to use for you? And the person goes, yes, or no, use this email. Because all that data is already there on Facebook, right? Now, what I liked about this is a still shot, but actually I pulled in the GIF because it's an animated GIF. And that's just, Tony doing his thing on stage with his big giant hands. Welcome to the Tony Robbins Messenger experience. Here you will find all sorts of information regarding Tony and his upcoming event. Remember I said, make it clear what your bot is and does. And that's the same paragraph at the top here. I just screenshotted the rest of it. To navigate through the experience, feel free to tap on any of the buttons and links provided. You may also type in anything that comes to mind. See that? Anything that comes to mind. While you can message me for information, I can also send you the most important updates about Tony and his event. Would you be interested in hearing from me? Now, I thought that was interesting because obviously if somebody said get started, they're already wanting to get started. So Tony even gives you an option to opt out right away. He's like, oh, get started, read, nah, no thanks, I changed my mind. If it were me, I would probably change that menu up a little bit and give people maybe a couple of different choices, but that's okay. He's really making it super clear right away. You can tap yes, please, or no thanks. All right. And by the way, while we're here, this little icon right where my cursor is circling, the dark blue with the check mark on both mobile and desktop, that's where you click or tap to disable message. If you want to opt out, you just turn off messages up there. And because I know I've unsubscribed from a lot of chatbots out there. People are just doing too much blasting and breaking the rules. But or they're not adding value. That's the bottom line. It's not about the too much blasting so much as it is like adding value. We can be happy with regular messages if it's relevant and useful, right? So that's step one, making it clear on it sets the tone for that relationship that you're building with your audience and wanting to make sure, that they know what your bot is about. Now then, you're going to craft your messages as short, informal, and personal. Personable too. So, and hold on before I give that example. Why? Because 95% of Messenger users, the 1.3 billion users, well, actually Facebook users, we've got 2.23 billion active Facebook users, right? And over 90%, some say 95%, are accessing Facebook, the Facebook platform, predominantly on their mobile devices. So we know they're consuming content, both in the feed and in Messenger and everything. So the shorter, the better. Plus the attention span thing, right? People have short attention spans. So the short and then personal and formal, because remember, your business message is competing for real estate and mind share in amongst someone's own personal friends and family members and chit chat and informal, personal, intimate communication that they might be having. So we have to make sure that our business messages aren't too, salesy and pushy and formal and just don't kind of sound like you. A fun example I thought I'd pick for this one is a gentleman called John Spratt, and he's over there in the UK. He's one of the UK's most respected psychic mediums and ghost hunters. You know, and I found a lot of these actually in the Explore tab, or what's it called, Discover tab. When you go to Messenger, you might not even have noticed it before, but when you're in Messenger, you can actually go to the Discover tab. If we have time, I can pull my phone up and show you some fun stuff. But anyway, so here's John. So I get started, and this on the topic of just fun and personal. I thought this was great. He just put this hello Martin. I thought that was cool. I'm like, wait, how did he get my name in there in that little sticky? I don't even know how he did it, but that's pretty cool. So he's got my name in here, and it said it's always nice to start a conversation with how are yous. So how are you today? He goes, I'm excellent, I'm all right, and I could be better. And I tapped on this one, I tapped on I'm excellent, and actually I got an answer back, and he sends you all kinds of information. I went back and I tapped on some of the other ones, and he gives you a slightly different variation. But I thought it was fun. It was very playful, it was engaging, and so that was fun. So John Spratt. Another example, I think this gentleman, Luke Darling, he's in the real estate business. And he does some really cool things with this Messenger chatbot. If you go get started, and he just says, sweet, I'm excited for you. Let's get started. See what I mean? Short, kind of just, hip, and off it goes. You currently rent or own, and you get to go back and forth. And great, Mari, are you looking to do, I think he says refinance or sell or whatever. And then he goes on. It's a whole really short, simple, like the person on the other end has to do no thinking, right? I just go, oh, well, that's obvious. You either rent or you own. One or other. Great. And you feel drawn in, and you're just interacting with this bot before you even know it. And there's Gary Vee. I mentioned I'd have him as an example as well. 2.9 million people, and he's also got his Facebook Watch show. So this one, I was playing around with this the other day there, and Gary has a whole other different approach, because he's actually sending you to a URL where you're going to fill out a fairly lengthy form. And Gary is the epitome of informal, and for me personally, see, that's not on brand for me. I wouldn't say the letter U, and I wouldn't say hit me up. That's not on brand for me, but it's absolutely on brand for Gary, right? Social getting so noisy. I'm using text and Messenger, important SHIT. That's just Gary for you. Just need you to fill out this form. And I actually think I've given you a screenshot for that form. No, I didn't put the form in, but you can check out Gary Vee. And the form is really interesting, because he asks for your phone number, he asks for your shirt size, your shoe size. He's got all kinds of merchandise, and he's doing some cool things, not only with Messenger, but also with text messaging. And I have one other example here, juicing vegetables, because this one was interesting. I'd actually signed up for the juicing vegetables bot a little bit ago, and I think I hadn't heard from him. And then out of the blue, I get this, they were doing a quiz. Actually, he was doing a quiz. So thanks for interest in the guide. Make sure you're not a bot. Please press the button below. I thought that was funny, I guess. Oh my God. Can you imagine it now, friends? We're going to have bots interacting with bots. But this is the one I got the other day from Juicing Vegetables. And he said, we created a new quiz. It's called Which Superfoods Are Best for Your Body Type? And then this is really nice. When you see take quiz, no thank you, or unsubscribe. So those are 3 great options from a personal relationship standpoint. You're honoring the person. You're saying, absolutely, I'd like to take the quiz. If the person says no thank you, there's still a contact. They haven't left. They haven't opted out of the ability to be messaged. They're just saying, I don't want to do the quiz right now. Or you're giving the option to say unsubscribe. My friend Andrew Warner, some of you might follow him from Chatbot, Bot Academy. And he always puts little things, says, don't bug me. And it's like a little caterpillar. So I've seen a lot of creative ones of like how to get off people's lists. Okay, so that's step 1 and 2. And now we're going to do step 3, and that's to use comment triggers on your Facebook post to grow your content list. Because we get this a lot. People say, oh my gosh, I got my bot set up. Well, now how do I get people in there? And so one of the easiest ways to do that is, whilst you're already doing a Facebook Live, is that you can go ahead and get people to comment on that post. Now, you do need to set it up in advance as a scheduled post, or it doesn't have to be a Facebook Live. It could be any post. And inside of Mobile Monkey, there's a feature called Comment Guard, and it's really easy to use, easy to set up. And that can be per post. So a great example is to use those with Facebook Lives. excuse me, as I mentioned, and in the hot seat for this example, I'm going to give our wonderful friends over at Live Streaming Pros, and that's Luria Petrucci and David Foster, long time friends of mine, and they do great work over there. And Luria was recently interviewing Rachel Farnsworth, and she's of the Stay at Home Chef, which I think has 2 million fans. And then she has a show, another show on the Watch platform just called Recipes Watch. I think it's facebook.com/recipeswatch right there. And that has over 4 million fans, 4.3 million fans. But anyway, this is a great interview. I actually shared it on my page the other day. And you can see right here where my cursor is, actually, do I have an arrow? Yeah, type webinar. This is Luria. She's already set it up in advance, and she's letting people know, look, if you're interested in a special webinar I'm doing, type webinar in the comments and join the live video training. So that's an example of what I'm talking about with using the comment trigger. And what happens when you set it up in advance on a scheduled live, and then it's live, or you could have it set up, someone behind the scenes could literally do it real time, that every time someone puts that special trigger word in the comment, then they are immediately sent the chatbot message that you've set up. And that could do anything. That could send them to a landing page and opt in. It could say, hey, is this your best email? I want to make sure we contact you here, or whatever it might be, having them take a little quiz, interacting with them, having that whole personal touch, right? So nice example there with our friends at Live Streaming Pros. And now step 4. So step 4 of 7. Optimize Messenger's 3 message types. I alluded to one earlier. And so just to kind of lay the groundwork here, if this is all kind of new to you and you're wondering, oh, okay, is Messenger a replacement for email? No, it's not. This is something I'm really imploring marketers. You'll see in a moment, I have another slide coming up that's, I have some concerns. I have some very deep concerns about how marketers are going to be using Messenger. I really hope that Messenger, Facebook Messenger, is quite stringent with their rules, with enforcing their rules, because what's going to happen if marketers treat the Messenger inbox just like your email inbox and they just start blasting you with offers, they can't do that anyway. They're actually going to get reported, and they're not supposed to do that anyway. There's rules that allow you not to do that or prevent you from doing that. And but the thing is that that's the point. This whole essence of my talk here today with these 7 steps is to make sure that you have as much high touch as possible, as much informality, but without being too informal, whatever's on brand for you, to really honor the person that you're conversing with, and to find out what they want, and to be able to create these. Over time, they could get complex. I'm going like this with my hands because I'm imagining like a mind map full of different choices. If this, then that, and people sign up for a daily update, or they prefer a weekly update, or they only want this kind of topic, but not that kind of topic. You know what I mean? They want to know about your events, but they don't want to know about your whatever it might be, something else, your specials. So the more personalized we can make this messaging through these chatbots, the better for everybody. It's just going to be a much better experience for all. So the 3 types of messages are standard, and Larry and some of the others will go into that a little bit more here today. And that's where people can subscribe to your bot, or they start messaging your page, and you have that 24/1 rule. You have 24 hours to respond to them, and then outside the 24 hours, you have one more chance to message them until they re-interact with your bot. But then you have subscription messages, which I recommend everybody signs up for, so long as you have non-promotional messages you plan to send out, which why wouldn't you? Just to keep touch with people, top of mind awareness, just sharing news updates. They have different categories that you have to sign up for. And then on the paid side, you've got something called sponsored messages, which allows you to use Facebook Ads Manager and contact your Messenger contacts. That's anybody who's ever messaged you in Messenger, to to send them a message, to actually message them inside their Messenger. Plus, you also have, of course, click to Messenger ads, and those are really powerful. Those are ads in the news feed or wherever they show up. They can even be in Instagram or the audience network, but they basically, where you'll see the little call to action button is to send a message, and then you have that connected up to your chat bot. You for sure want to segment, as I say, because you want to make sure that, especially people sign up for subscription messages, that you're giving them what they want. There's nothing worse than someone saying, okay, I want the weekly messages, but all of a sudden you start blasting them daily. Now that's not good. Again, on that relationship element, people will lose trust. Give your people what they want. and don't over message and don't break the rules. Okie dokie. And some examples on this. Oh, actually, before I go to my examples, this is directly from the Messenger developer screenshot from one of their pages. So you got your standard messaging. A message can be sent during a 24-hour window, resets anytime the person sends a message. I mentioned that. Subscription messaging, I'm going to show you exactly where to sign up for that. And then the sponsored messaging is where you can pay to reach people in Messenger. So this is where you go to apply for subscription messaging. You simply go to your Facebook business page on desktop, it needs to be done on desktop, and you just hit settings in the top right, and then over on the left, you'll see Messenger platform, and then that opens up and you scroll on down to advanced messaging features, and you just simply click that request button. And once you've clicked the request, it will then show you what to do next and to fill out that form. Excuse me. So as of December 31st of this year, it's going to go into a place that you absolutely have to apply at the page level for the permission to do that subscription messaging. All right, friends. And here's an example of a click to Messenger ad. Some of you might have seen this in the news feed. And so this is a screenshot of an ad on mobile. And there's what I'm talking about, the little send message button. And it's really powerful because we want to be able to place ads where people don't necessarily have to leave Facebook. Then what I've done for you in here, this next screenshot, is what it looks like behind the scenes in my Mobile Monkey setup. When people click send message, this is what gets triggered. It says, hi, thank you for letting us know you'd like to learn about my very special offer. There's more under here. And then they click on learn more. And when they learn more, when they sign on, when they click on the send message, it automatically sends them this. There it is right there. Thank you for letting us know, my little girl with her hand up. And then it says, want the full scope. And we ask them to click the little learn more button. And that's when it sends them the special offer. Okie dokie. So just, it's really simple. That's like this little two-step process. You have your ad and you have your chatbot and the person interacts with it. It's a great, great lead generation tool. Now then, excuse me, step 5 of 7, and then we'll get to your questions for sure. You really, really, really want to be consistent. I can't tell you how many bots I've signed up for, and then I hear like nothing for months and months and months, and then randomly out of the blue, all of a sudden I get a message and I'm like, oh, okay. However, friends, to be fair, as I said, it's early days yet, and I've seen even celebrities. I know like Katy Perry. Last year, I actually was watching some of the team that were building her bot, and I signed up for Katy Perry's chatbot, and I got some really cool interactive stuff. And then like nothing for 6 months, and then all of a sudden her chatbot popped up with something, and it was like from left field. I was like, wait, what? Katie, I forgot. Oh, okay, that's right. I guess I'm on your bot. But you want to message regularly, like I say, within the rules. That's why you want to sign up for that subscription messaging. Always add value, right? So it's about that relationships top of mind. It's honoring. It's not about, just pitching and selling. You can't do that anyway. Keep it super brief, be creative, be on brand. So as an example, for this one, I decided to pull HelloFresh, 1.8 million fans, and they are a weekly recipe kit delivery service. You choose delicious recipes and we deliver them straight to your door. Same thing, if when you see get started, they have a bot. So we did that, and then this is what it looks like. So we go get started, and I thought this was super cute, and I love it. Ideally, when the whole message can pop up in one screen. I see long introductory messages, and it takes a while to read. So you want to try to make it as short as possible. Cute little, graphic. It's short too. I see some graphics are really big. I like just a little short one. And I love it when you use the person's name. Always use the person's first name. Person's first name is the sweetest sounding word in their entire vocabulary. I don't know if you knew that or not, but it is. I've been saying that for like 20 years now. But it is. There's studies have shown that. So use the person's first name. You got the field to integrate it. And you can give your bot a name. It's kind of fun to give it a name. So HelloFresh are saying, I'm Freddy Freshbot, beep boop, interact with me by clicking on the buttons. And then they had a little animated GIF, a simple little animated GIF of showing you just click. I mean, they've got a cursor on there, but with the mobile, obviously that would be your finger and just tap on got it, got it, Roger that, let's go. I mean, all three mean the same thing, but it was kind of cute how they did that. And so then I tap Roger that, and it says, here's some things I can help you with. Tap or click a category from the menu below, and you can swipe left and right to get more information. Really nicely done. Short, personal, just, easy to interact with. And if you're interested in that bot, then it definitely had some good things there. And then you've always got your main menu in the bottom here. You can swipe up and it comes up customer care. One of the things that I always like to recommend you include is a button or maybe a menu item that will say talk to a human, or as we saw in HelloFresh, there was a customer care. So we always want to make it known to our audience, look, we haven't just set up a chat bot and we've left the building and now we're sipping Mai Tais on the beach. I mean, you could do that if you want, but you want to be able to make people know, let people know that you are still there and you're available. You have a team that's available to interact with them in person, because not every single question or comment or interaction is going to be able to be answered by a bot. I mean, that would be nice, but obviously we're going to have times when we need to be able to get in there and answer people personally. Now, I use a platform called Agora Pulse. Shout out to Agora Pulse. They are a great community management platform and tool. There's a lot of other ones out there as well. Okay, so let's do this. Step 6, here we go. Excuse me. So make it really easy to talk to. Well, I got ahead of myself there because I just mentioned that, didn't I? So that's step 6, make it really easy to talk to a human. Intercept. And I also, see, and Mobile Monkey makes it really easy to do this. So your chatbot, if let's say you have a series set up or you have a drip sequence, it's called, and that's kind of messaging someone, and then you go in and you start talking and typing with the person on live. Now it's not all of a sudden going to keep blasting with a bot as well as the person. So you want to be able to kind of do one or the other, but you can intercept your bot anytime to add that human touch. There definitely is, however, I will tell you, and I'm facing this right now myself, and all transparency, my friends, there's a volume and a scale challenge, because, I have like, I don't know, over 200,000 fans on my business page, and a lot of, thousands, tens of thousands of people on Messenger. So if I'm sending out broadcasts and all of a sudden the inbox is filling up, and it makes it challenging. We really have a challenge right now in being able to extrapolate who's in a sequence and who can we interact with. This very thing I'm challenging you all to do is to bring in that human element. One solution I will tell you that I'm working on with my team behind the scenes is to keep my Maury Smith page just for the bot and interacting, give lots of choices and different options people can sign up for and different subscription messaging. But then as soon as they hit talk to a human, or, I want some, human customer service, then that is actually going to drive them to a separate page with just a very simple bot. Great, got your question, we'll be right back to you, or this is your phone number, this is your email, whatever it might be. And then we can have that separated out under a different page. Possibly that might be one solution, depending on the size of your page and the number of contacts you have. Otherwise, that's going to be a solution that I know more and more chat companies will be needing to build in to make sure that it's easy to pull out people who want interaction personally. So for this, I pulled out Kohl's at 12 million fans on their page, and that's fun as they find your yes. So get started on Kohl's. And what do I get here is greetings. I'm the Kohl's bot. You may not be able to, may not be able to cook your dinner or make your bed, but I can help you find stores, discover deals, track orders, and check your wallet. Now they're just assuming, of course, you're either already a Kohl's customer or you would like to be, because they're saying show deals, find a store, message an agent. There's what I'm talking about right there. See, message an agent. Now that's a really good wording too. I like that. Track my order, check my wallet, message an agent. So just in this example, I decided I clicked show deals, and Kohl's always has something to offer. See how it's short and it just comes up within the screen. It's not a long scroll. It's real simple. And I decided to tap on that. Now, what I want to point out in this screenshot in the far right is what happens is that you can actually have this opening up. And this happens in Messenger, Messenger ads. Instagram has the very same feature. So I've not left the app. The app is still open and running in the background. Messenger at the very top where my cursor is, you can see I've still got Messenger open, but I can now see and interact with what's happening here on this web page, but I'm not outside of Messenger in a browser. I'm like a browser overlay. And that's really easy to do. You can do things like that too with your chatbot. And then obviously you can just X that out. You go, oh, you know what? Change my mind. I want to message an agent or whatever it might be. Alrighty, perfecto. So we've just got a few more minutes here, and then I'll take your questions for sure. So step 7, what is step 7? Drum roll. I hope you're getting good value here today. You're taking some good notes. We'll get these slides to you as well. And you're enjoying some of the examples as well. Step 7, now then, this is where my free chapter comes in, because I'm calling it hone or refine your soft skills. What are soft skills? Soft skills are things like empathy, genuine care, deep listening, surprise and delight, going the extra mile. And so all of these elements are being able to just let people know there's still human beings running your business, and that you really genuinely care, deeply care about your people, your audience, your customers and your prospects. And you're not just trying to sell them and they're just numbers on a list. We don't want to ever have that. So the free chapter of my book is where you can just message me free chapter. And that is, as I mentioned earlier, so the new relationship marketing looks backwards to me, but hopefully it's showing the right way up for you. The new relationship marketing, how to build a large, loyal, profitable network using the social web. And the free chapter that I give you is actually the one about soft skills. I just go right to my chapters here. It's specifically about honing your soft skills. It actually is, I call it the new skills that the new business skills everyone needs. It's chapter 2 in my book, and you can get that for free just by tapping, by going to my Messenger afterwards, later after this. You can tap Messenger, go to my Messenger, or just m.b Mari Smith, or if you're on your mobile, Mari Smith, the one with the blue check, and just type in free chapter, and that's what it'll send you. It'll send you the direct link. I don't even make you opt in or anything. You just go right to the PDF, the new business skills everyone needs. Okay, so the free chapter did that. So here's a summary. Make sure you guys get a summary of the 7 steps to relationship building and boosting the bottom line with Facebook Messenger bots. I think I have a few more slides, so we better just jam through them here. Make it clear what your bot does and how to interact with it. Craft your messages informal, personal, and personable. Use comment triggers to grow your contact list. One of the easiest ways to grow your contact list. And especially when you integrate that comment triggers with an ad, a boosted post, or boosted Facebook Live, or CTM is click to messenger ads. Be consistent, make it really easy to talk to a human. Don't just leave the building and go to the beach, as tempting as it is, and really improve your soft skills. And what I mean by that is make sure that you're really honoring of people. I got to tell you something, when I was playing with my bot, when I was experimenting with my bot not long ago, something happened whereby it actually, oh, I think I know what it was. It pulled in, instead of there was a bug in the bot. This is a long time, months ago now. And instead of it saying the person's first name, it pulled in like the first name code. And there was like 110 people got this particular message. And I personally wrote to everyone one by one. I know I'm so obsessive, but I personally wrote to every one of those people and said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that our bot made a mistake. And what was really awesome is people were writing back going, is that really you, Mari? Oh my God, oh, don't worry about it. Oh, that's great. Oh, wow, I got you. I was thinking about da-da-da-da. And it started all of these great conversations, which might not have happened otherwise. So don't be afraid to step in there and just really give that human element, as I say. Now, this is a slide that I've included in almost all my keynotes for about 1.5 years. We've got Messenger, and if we're not careful, marketers might ruin Messenger. Not if they follow my 7 steps I've outlined here today. We want to make sure that people are really, as I say, honoring and building in and integrating that wonderful personal relationship marketing aspect. It's about how you make people feel. Make sure you're making people feel like they want to give you heart emoji eyes, right? And this great quote by David Cancel, the CEO of Drift. I've used this in many, many of my slide decks. And I just love this quote. It was from Traffic and Conversion. Earlier this year, David and I were both keynoting there. And he said, a sale isn't made until a conversation is started. Marketers need to focus on creating conversations, not leads. Conversations create revenue. I love that. I just love it. And this is what we want to be focused on. And as my most famous quote for about 11 years, content is king, but engagement is queen, and she rules the house. And what I mean by that is you can put all the content in the world out there, but if nobody's seeing it, no, it's not getting any reach, nobody's liking it, sharing it, watching it, commenting on it, well, what's the point of that? You got to have the engagement. You got to be able to engage, and Messenger gives us this wonderful opportunity to now have these one-on-one conversations as mostly automated, partially automated, and also bringing in that human element. Keep calm, provide excellent customer service. So with that, we can now go to some Q&A, and yeah, that's what we'll do.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah,
that was great. So I've been watching the chat during that 45 quick minutes. Lots of great questions, lots of great. I love the content is king, but engagement is queen. This is great. So I'm just going to rattle off some questions. Hopefully these are things that you can help some folks out with.
Okay.
They've been asking, and then other people have been upvoting. So we've got sort of an idea of what the most popular questions are. One of the most popular from Bob Etheridge is, can you give any insight or tips on chatbots for B2B companies? I guess a lot of people are doing chatbots for the B2B industries.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is, so I'm all B2B. I only do B2B, and I've had this question numerous times. And in fact, in my book, I write about whether you're B2C, business to consumer, or B2B, business to business, to me, it's all P2P, people to people, always. And especially when it comes to Messenger, because you're not writing as a business to a business, you're writing as a person to a person. One person writing to one person. Well, okay, one of my examples there was Kohl's. I mean, obviously, or HelloFresh. So those are brands. You're interacting with a brand. But I love it. I love it when I see brands that always sign off with a first name, whether it's on Twitter or a Facebook comment, or now we've got with Messenger. I think it'd be awesome to have even chatbots signed off with the person's first name and to add that personal element. So the question about B2B is, honestly, there's just really no difference. Why should there be a difference? B2C, yeah, you're maybe more wanting to know about making the, having them go to your retail store or come into your local business, whatever it might be. But business to business is about first establishing that relationship, finding out the person's need, maybe sending them to a quiz, maybe send them to go download a white paper, and maybe just like I do with the free chapter, just give them the PDF link at first, build trust and goodwill. Don't say, oh, immediately I'll help you, but first, give me your email. It's like, well, you don't need their email right away because you've already got them as a Messenger chat contact. And so begin that dialogue. I love when we send them to assessments or quizzes or really, really great tools, surveys, that kind of thing. And then over to maybe get a white paper or do something more in depth, or then maybe a free consult, give them a calendar link. They can call in for whatever your sales process is, and to go ahead and get them into your funnel. But really, Messenger, yeah, for B2B or B2C, to me, it's all just beginning to establish that loyalty and that trust and that relationship, so that people feel like, obviously, everybody always wants to do business with businesses they know, like, and trust.
Yeah, what a great way to sort of help us remember that people make decisions and trust other people. So P2P, I love it. And what a great reminder, something quick and easy that we can remember. Yes. When we talk about, oftentimes, people get this very, they create a lot of difficulty in B2B, but we do need to remember that it's people that are making these decisions. Okay, next question is, how to handle, and this was very upvoted, how to handle the new Facebook rule 24+1 on chatbots.
Okay, so how to handle it. The good news is when you're using a chatbot like Mobile Monkey, they're actually making it very easy for you with the different, and Larry will go into this in the next session, I'm sure, but with the different choices in there and being able to segment. And when you go to do what's called a chat blast, it's basically a broadcast to your Messenger contacts, you actually have to say whether it's promotional, non-promotional. There's a whole menu of different possible topics or categories of what your message is. And so Facebook's already set it up. All the chatbot companies out there have already set it up to make it easy for you. So you don't have to remember, wait, did I send them that? Or do I have one more message to send them? And so, yeah, so basically the rule is that you have 24 hours to respond to a first interaction, which of course, if you have a bot set up, it's instant. And then within that outside of that 24-hour period, you can send them one more message, and that's what I'm talking about. It's already configured for you inside your dashboard. You basically just follow the steps for when you're doing your broadcasts.
That's great. Perfect. That's what we needed. Okay, next question. I'm going to try and get through all of these in the next 9 minutes or so. Stefan is asking, he's saying, I'd like to address someone to address Facebook's stringent new policy when it comes to using Messenger for marketing purposes. Any comments there?
Well, okay, so Stefan's talking exactly about this previous question with the 24/1 rule, because my slide there that said marketers may ruin Messenger, this is exactly what we're talking about here. And I'm in the same boat as everybody else. I am literally, because it's so new, really, we're all like finding our feet and making sure where's the boundaries and the edges of what's allowed within Facebook's parameters and what's not allowed, and making sure that we have a whole sequence with the subscription messages that is non-promotional and separate from any promotional messages, and really making sure we segment. And there's easy ways to do that when you go and you do a broadcast. And many of those examples I was showing you where people tap a button, the moment they've tapped a button on one of your choices, you're assigning them a tag. So they have a tag inside of your Mobile Monkey chatbot system or whatever chatbot you're using, then now they're tagged, so you know, and that's how you're able to segment. And so the rules, Facebook absolutely implemented that rule to prevent burnout and messenger fatigue from users, right? From the 1.3 billion messenger users. The last thing Facebook wants is people getting the users going, oh my God, I don't want to have anything to do with chatbots. Those people just keep blasting me. They have absolutely got to have some restrictions around that. So the best thing really is to get as much education as you can, which is why you're all here today and tuning into these lovely sessions from Mobile Monkey and Friends, and just start experimenting. Just begin to build out your bot and do a simple little sequence at first and directing people to different places. You know, try some of the sponsored messages, which Facebook's never going to be upset with you if you're spending money with them. So do some sponsored messages where you're actually paying to reach your messenger chat contacts, and then segmenting them into the different ways of contacting them, both promotional and non-promotional. It'll make more sense as the folks tune into the different sessions here today. And I mean, just go ahead and sign up for a Mobile Monkey account or whatever it might be, and you can just get started, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. In the very next session, Larry's going to do an intro to Facebook Messenger and chatbot marketing. So a lot of these questions are going to be in-depth answers. But here's another good one. Do you have any best practices in regards to and how to switch from bot to human?
That is a good one. And I'm right in the trenches and figuring out the only two ways that I'm really practicing right now. Number one, because like I sent out a blast, I think in August, and went out to 11,000 contacts. And when you send a blast out, I don't even like calling it a blast. It's a broadcast, it's a message. But when you send it out, it literally, the way in which Messenger works, which drives me crazy, is that when you send out a broadcast, it's not like Gmail where now they're like, or Infusionsoft or whatever email system you use, right? Yeah. That now it's, you know, there's a sent items box, right? Sent items folder. It's basically all the same inbox. So all of your outgoing messages have now filled up your inbox. And so we use, for example, I mentioned Agora Pulse. We have a way where we can very quickly archive any of the broadcast messages that, you know, people have not yet replied to. And then what we're doing in Agora Pulse is we're looking for people who have responded and have asked a question or have clicked that talk to human button. So that's one way. It's just using a system. You can obviously use Messenger dashboard is quite a bit more advanced these days on desktop or mobile. On the Pages Manager, on mobile, make sure you have the Pages Manager app, not regular Facebook, but Pages Manager app. And then on desktop, you've got that, or use a system like Agora Pulse. So that's one way. And the second way, as I mentioned, is just dedicating, just deciding, just calling it. Okay, you know what? This page has got the sheer scale and volume is challenging to try to intersperse the human in there as well. So we're just going to drive people over to a separate page. Actually, I think Mobile Monkey does that as well. You have different pages for different uses. And then that way, you know that you can just tell people, click this button and it will take them right to another page where that's where they know they can interact with the human. So hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah, absolutely it is. We've got a couple of more I'd love to get to. Marianne Pfeiffer is asking, what's the drop-off rate when you use the unsubscribe option earlier versus later in the interaction?
Well, honestly, you should use unsubscribe in every message. I mean, to be compliant with the Can Spam Email Act, right? We have to put unsubscribe on every single email. Now, Facebook at the moment is not enforcing that we have to have that, but I usually put, you can say type stop at any time to stop receiving messages. Or what I prefer even better is that you can say, and I know my good friend Molly Mahoney, she does some great things with this, where you can basically say, no more of this type, right? I don't want any more reminders of when you're going live. And so now what it's done is taken them out of that sequence, but you're still able to contact them, right? And so maybe not necessarily giving them a big button that says unsubscribe, but giving them their different buttons of what they can choose to stay signed up for and not signed up for, and then just a little one-liner saying type stop at any time to stop receiving messages.
Yeah, and I think this is the answer Marianne was looking for. Absolutely. Sherry's asking, does age that you know of, does age affect the adoption rates? Have you noticed any trends in demographics here? Or other demographics?
God,
any demographic?
good question. I have not. I don't have that on top of my mind about age affecting it. I don't know. I'm a youthful 50-something, and I love it. I'm an early adopter. I love tech, and whether it's millennials or Gen Zs or baby boomers or Gen Xers or whatever, I think it's basically technology is moving at warp speed, and we have to keep up no matter what. So
absolutely, I'm sure industry has a lot to do with it. Yeah. Maybe more so than age. Mm-hmm. And then to finish it off, where can folks get in touch with you? I know you had your information at the bottom of each slide, which was great, but maybe let's put that on the screen. And a lot of people were asking for the slides as well. Is there a chance we could find out how we could get those?
Absolutely. I will be happy to send them to you. So you guys can find me at Mari Smith on Twitter, on Facebook, on Messenger. It's all at Mari Smith. On Instagram, I'm at Mari_Smith. My website's marismith.com. If you message me with free chapter, I'll give you that free chapter. And with the slides, I think that anyone who's signed up for the summit, we can make sure that they all get the slides. I'll get with Larry on that, and they can all have them that way.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Mary. It's been a pleasure having you. It's always good to hear from you. As the opening keynote, it was super special on this very early California morning. We look forward to hearing everything that you're doing in the future, and thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Well, I just realized I think we had a special offer from Mobile Monkey, but I'll let Larry give that to folks. We do. I'm going to tell them about it right after we finish up here. So okay. Thank you very much. Thanks, Clayton. Bye for now. Bye, everybody. Thanks, bye. Okay, everybody, we've got just one more minute before the top of the hour. Wherever you're at in the world, thank you for joining us. I just wanted to cover a few things. To get into the next session, you don't have to do anything. We're going to call the audience directly over to the next session. So you don't have to go anywhere or click a new link or anything like that. A lot of people ask how they can get the recordings of these sessions. You can get those at the green button right below the live stream right here. It says Get All Access Pass. You get all of the sessions that we covered today, access to those for a lifetime. You also get a year of Mobile Monkey Pro, which is an incredible value. So if you want to watch these sessions again, or you want an incredible deal on Mobile Monkey Pro, please click the Get All Access Pass. You can get that here. And coming up right now is Larry Kim. He is the host and the originator of this summit. We're very happy to have him. So if you'll just hang on and stay right where you're at, I'm going to move the audience into Larry's session, and we will get started. He's going to cover an introduction to chatbots and Facebook Messenger marketing. So if you're just starting out, or you've got questions about Mobile Monkey, transferring over from another chatbot provider, ask him in this next section. Thank you so much. We'll see you over there.